Okay, here are the Chapter 5 notes, Sections 1 and 2. This is page 2. So I am going to start by using visual representations for smaller numbers to see if we can make sense of why we add and subtract the way we do. So we're pretty okay with adding 4 and 3. So I'm going to use this convention up here. I'm going to use a plus to represent a positive unit and a minus to represent a negative. Okay, with that, 1 plus and 1 minus is going to be a 0. Right? If I go up 1 and down 1, they cancel out. I get a 0. So here I've got plus 4, positive 4, plus 3 more positives. I end up with 7 positives total. I can count that. And sometimes it's just kind of nice to see a visual representation with smaller numbers. You can make sense of what's going on. So if both of the numbers are positive, we just add the way we always have. B, I got 3 negatives. I'm adding 5 negatives. I'm just going to combine those. That gives me 8 negatives. So if the signs are the same, we are going to add those units together and keep the signs. So 22 plus 17, I'm going to add them this way. I get positive 39. If I have negative 12, so I've got 12 negatives, 15 more negatives, that gives me 27 negatives. Okay, again, you can also use a calculator for this. Make sure that you've got the negatives or the minus in the right place. When we add with unlike terms, so now I've got positive 3, I've got negative 7. Notice that the 3 positives cancel out 3 of the negatives. This all makes 0. These go away. That's not what I wanted to do. And you can see I'm left with a negative 4. So the smaller number cancels out some of the opposite sign, and we take a look at what we have left over. B. I've got positive 10, negative 4. I'm adding these together. Here's my big 0. These cancel out. I'm left with 6. So when we're adding two numbers that have the opposite side, we end up taking the difference and keeping the sign of the larger number. So one more, just to confirm. Those 2 positives cancel out 2 of my negatives. I am left with 7 negatives. And 4D, those negative 11 is going to cancel out 11 of the positives from the 20. I'm going to end up with 9 left over. Again, we can do all this in the calculator, with the calculator. But there is one thing I want to point out, because sometimes it helps to think of this a little differently. We can always write a subtraction as an addition. We can always write an addition as a subtraction. If I want 10 and I'm taking away 4, we know that that's going to be 6. I get the same thing as if I add the opposite number. So 10 plus negative 4, that's still going to be 6. Couple of different ways to think about this. For B, I got 10 minus 13. I'm taking something bigger away from something smaller. I'm also 3 short, right? I can take away 10. I still have 3 more I need to take away. Okay. C is where it gets a little funky for us. Depending on what kind of calculator you're using, it may not like the minus minus. So subtracting a number here is the same as adding the opposite. The opposite of -3 is +3. And again, I can even go back to my picture now. I got 5 negatives. I got 3 positives. These cancel each other out. That's why we take the difference. We get -2. -7 minus 5, I'm going to rewrite as -7 plus -5. The signs are the same. I get -12. Here's where we kind of screw things up a little bit. I'm going to rewrite this as an addition, -2 plus -2. Now I'm adding two things that have the same sign. I get -4. That's different than the next one, -2 minus -2. Because anytime we subtract something from itself, we get 0. So I can rewrite as an adding the opposite just to make myself happy. A -2 plus a +2 is 0. For G, 0 minus 8, again, there's the subtraction. There's the -8. And for the last one, 13 minus -7, we are going to add the +7, 13 plus 7, and we get 20.